another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Today, I'm going to discuss a topic that's been requested quite a few times. But before we get started, we have to do the customary wristwatch check. So, what am I wearing today? Today, I have the vintage Atlantic Worldmaster 37 millimeters. This is my latest acquisition. And actually, it's more of a dress watch, and come winter time, I'm definitely gonna put it on like a lizard grain or an ostrich strap, maybe even a gator. But I didn't want to wait until winter to wear it, so I said, whatever, let's slap it on a NATO. I got a few from Wrist Candy Watch Club, and it's just a great way to kind of scratch the itch until I can wear it properly. I know this isn't the ideal look for this watch, but hey, what are you gonna do, right, guys? So, what are we gonna talk about? Today, I figured we'd talk about how to sell your watch. Now, I've identified 3 ways to sell your watch. So the 3 ways I've identified are sell it to an authorized dealer, sell it to a gray market retailer, or of course, sell your watch online. Now, all of these are going to have different results, different prices that are obtainable, but you also have to worry about separate things. So why don't we start one by one and talk about authorized retailers first. It has to be said that, first off, not all authorized retailers take trades or buy watches from the public. So I'd say about 30-40% of them are out right from the beginning. However, let's say you find one that does. How should you go about it? What can you expect? What are the different factors? The first thing you guys should keep in mind is these guys are buying the watch to resell. You can't just go to ebay.com, see what the watch is selling for, and expect them to give you that price, because they have to sell it and make a profit. And honestly, if their margin on a piece they're buying is less than 20-30%, it's just not worth it for them. So automatically, if you're selling to someone who's going to resell it, you're going to make less because you have to give up some margin. But there are a few other factors. One of those factors is, are you a returning customer? Does the AD know you? Have you purchased from them before? This could all matter, because if you're a returning customer, the AD might want to make you happy and just bite the bullet and not make a profit or make less margin. I know in my career, I've done this 1,000 times. If someone's bought 4 or 5 watches from me, then I'm going to help them out when I can. So if you're a returning customer, you'll get most likely a better price. Also, are you just straight up selling it to them, or do you want to trade? If you want to trade it in for something, you'll also probably get a slightly better price. But remember, guys, depending on the brands, you're going to get between 15 to 30 cents on the dollar selling it this way. So if you bought a watch for 7,000 retail, don't walk in expecting to get 4,000. You know what? Most likely, unless it's like a special Patek or a Rolex, it's just not going to happen. So remember, be realistic, but at the same time, don't get steamrolled. Know what you want, find a fair price between 15 and 35 cents on the dollar, depending on the brand, and stick to your guns. Remember, that upper price range, 35, 30, is only Rolex Patek territory. That, if you have a Longines, expect closer to 15, and if you have something, honestly, like a Steinhardt, or anything under 1,500, they're not going to be interested anyway. There's just not enough margin, and it probably doesn't fit in with the rest of their stock. So, the keys for selling to an authorized dealer are: be a returning customer, try and trade in if you can, and be reasonable. Next, we're going to talk about the gray market. Now, the gray market's a little bit different. These are brick and mortar locations, but I'm going to use like New York City's 47th Street Diamond District as an example. These districts are usually one street or a cluster of diamond and watch shops, all of which will buy. So how does this work? Essentially, it's the same thing. You walk in, you tell them, I'm looking to sell this. The first question you're going to get asked always is, what do you want for it? Now, these guys are a little bit tougher than the ADs, and they don't like to negotiate. So, right off the bat, be reasonable. Don't ask $6,000 for an $8,000 watch, because they won't negotiate from there. They know right off the bat you're hard-headed, and they'll just tell you, please leave. So, once again, stand your ground. If you have an $8,000 watch, why don't you ask for 3,750, and see what happens. Take it from there. Also, in these districts, you're going to have many different stores, so don't be scared to shop around. However, be aware if somebody makes a reasonable offer, you walk into my store and I offer you $3,000, and then you walk out and shop around and come back and say, okay, I'll take it. I would have known you didn't receive an offer as good as mine. So automatically, my offer is going to go down. Don't leave the store or the booth if you receive a decent offer. Offers are not standing, they're not binding, and it's up to you to, make a decision right then and there. Offers will always be fluctuating. Also, we have to talk about payment. When you're going into an authorized dealer, they probably can't pay you cash. But that is fine, because they have a reputation, they're an authorized dealer, they've been there for a while. You have a recourse if something should go wrong. But ADs don't really carry that much cash on hand. So they'll either offer you store credit, which is up to you if you want something like that. They'll offer you a check or a wire. All acceptable. However, gray market, cash is king. I don't care if you're the most popular gray market dealer on the street, you pay cash. There's no recourse. They're not authorized. I'm not saying gray market dealers are bad. However, they don't quite have the reputation that authorized dealers do. So when they say, will you take a check? How about a certified check? I'll wire you tomorrow. Absolutely not. Let's go to the bank together. Let's get cash, or open your vault. Let's do cash. If you really trust the guy, certified check, maybe. But cash is king. ADs, you won't have that problem. Next is the section I'm sure you guys are most interested in, and that is selling your watch online. Now, I'm going to split this category into two subcategories. That is eBay and the forums. Why don't we start with eBay? Now, to sell your watch on eBay, you're going to have to do a few things. You're going to have an eBay account, preferably with some feedback, even though it's not necessary, but it will make your sale and life a lot easier if your account has feedback, and get a PayPal account. PayPal is the only way you should accept payment on eBay because of security purposes. They offer you a recourse to dispute and to claim if something should go wrong. Now, when selling on eBay, you should be aware of a few things. Fees. You will get significantly more than selling to an AD or to a gray market because you're selling to the end client. So there's no margin you have to worry about. But you won't exactly get the price you sell it for. You have to pay PayPal fees and you have to pay eBay fees. They're not huge, but they can be significant depending on the price of the item. And you also have to, pay for shipping. Not necessarily, you can also charge for shipping. However, I don't usually buy anything on eBay if the shipping charges are crazy. Now, there's a few keys that come to mind when it comes to selling on eBay, and they're similar to the forums. And I'll tell you what they are. First off, pictures. Put up a lot of pictures. The more the better. And I'm talking in focus, close-ups, quality pictures. I see a lot of guys that put pictures on request. And you know what? If you're too lazy to put up a picture, I'm not buying your watch, even if it's the most beautiful thing on earth. Make my life easier. Put up pictures. That's how you get a sale. Second is the description. Be as descriptive as possible. Put the model number. Put the year. Does it come with box and papers? Has it been serviced? Has it ever been dropped? Does it have any cool stories attached to it? The more descriptive, the better. It makes people feel comfortable. And the third thing is, and it comes into relation with pictures, blur out the serial number when you post a picture. That should always be kept private. I shouldn't have to explain why. You just do not want your serial number getting out there. Then you have to take feedback into consideration. Just like people are studying you as a buyer, you have to pick your seller. If somebody with no feedback buys it, doesn't mean they're a bad person or doesn't mean that they're going to mess with you. It just means they have no reputation. So it's up to you to pick if you want to follow through with the transaction. Once again, I don't buy anything on eBay. I dislike the fees. I only trust buyers I know, and I'll talk about that now, about selling your watch in the forums. Now, how to sell your watch in a forum. There are multiple forums. My favorites are TimeZone, Watch You Seek, and the Rolex forum. Now, just like TGV's Facebook group or any place else, a forum is a community of watch lovers. And, they all have different requirements. For example, before you can even sell a watch on TimeZone, you need 100 posts. If you're not a member, that might be a problem. But for example, the Rolex forum doesn't have a requirement at all, so you can just sign up and sell. Now, how does the Rolex forum and TimeZone and all these places work? Well, you put up a post very similar to an eBay listing. So once again, pictures are key. No pictures, no sell. Remember that. And description. However, unlike eBay, you don't have to go through eBay to make the sale. You can put your phone number, your email, and you can sell in a variety of ways. However, reputation does come into play. I've been a member of these forums for many, many years, so I've seen the sellers there, and so I trust them because I've either done transactions with them before or I see their names pop up all the time. So, for example, a lot of guys, they don't want to take PayPal because, of the fees. They want a wire transfer. Now, this can be very dangerous because once you wire the money in and he doesn't send you the watch, you have zero recourse. Good luck to you. It's over. You're out. You're out of your money. However, I do wires all the time to save on fees and because I only wire people that I've either done business with before or that I greatly trust. No one's going to want to ruin their hard-built reputation on one watch sale. So for me, as long as it's somebody I know, somebody I've seen for years, and I know the reputation is good, I have no problem with wiring. But keep that into consideration, guys. Don't just take a wire. Or if you're a new seller, don't ask for a wire because no one's going to send you the money. You might have to bite the bullet and do PayPal. Next, you don't necessarily have to ship the watch. In a lot of places, I'm in New York, the watch is in Maryland, it's a $6,000 watch. Buddy, let's meet halfway. So we can drive and do the transaction in person. This makes it very, very convenient. Also, forums, since they're a very specific and niche topic, tend to be full of much more knowledgeable people. So you're going to have to answer less questions, the deal's going to be done sooner. If it's a fair price, there's no reason why it shouldn't sell in a day or two. However, the beauty of selling to an AD or a gray market retailer is there's no headache. You walk in, you sell, you get your cash, you walk out. You make, significantly less, in my opinion, but there's no headache. 1, 2, 3, cash in hand, it's done. Whereas with forums on the internet, you gotta set up an account, write a description, take photos, wait for the wire, ask for references, especially on a forum. Have you bought anything before? Have you sold anything before? Can you please tell me who did you transact with? Get in contact with that person and see if what they're telling is accurate. You have to do your due diligence. And essentially, it is significantly more dangerous. Now, it's not dangerous overall. Once again, I've never been burned on an online transaction, ever. But that's because I put the work in. And I've been doing this for years, and I know who I'm dealing with. It's up to you guys to decide if you want to go through a little bit of the headache of doing the online and getting a little bit more money, or just doing something a lot easier and selling it in person. All great options, but very, very different. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for sticking around for another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram, link in the description below. And we hit 7,000 subs. I actually think I'm going to do a pretty awesome giveaway once we hit 10,000. So please hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 10,000 together. And I've got a few prizes I'm going to be giving out. Thank you guys for sticking around for another episode of Federico Talks Watches. And I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.